Hello again, and welcome to this Crazy Talk Animator 2 video tutorial on iProps and action menus. Now, in Crazy Talk Animator 2, we have several different types of props. One of the types of props that we have are the static props. So these are basically just vector files that are static, just like this one. Okay. If I right click here and I go to the action menu, you'll see that there's no animation. And also, if I open the sprite editor, you will see that we only have one sprite for this prop. Okay. Now, besides this type of prop, we also have other props that have animation, but they don't have the action built inside. So, for example, I can go to this Modern Vehicles Volume 1 pack that I installed, Police Car, and I can go to side and bring this front tire. Okay. And if I right click here, you'll see that the action menu has no animation inside. But if I open the sprite editor, you will see that I have several sprites. Okay. And some of these sprites contain animations. So for example, if I have, this is the starting sprite. This is the beginning of it. So it's static. If I click on loop and I replace this one with this sprite, and if I press play, you will see that we have an animation on this prop now. This is because we have this sprite playing, replacing the original one, and this sprite has an animation. Okay. Now we do have other props that have animations inside already. So which props are these? For example, I can go back to my park scene here, and I can bring in this fountain. And let me bring it down. Let me zoom out a little. Okay. And if I right click, you will see that I have spray and still. And if I open the sprite editor, you will see that I have I have a still prop and the prop with the water. So how would I activate this? Well, simple. I just have to right click, go to action menu, and choose spray. And now you will see my prop being animated. Now, these are the legacy props that we have for Crazy Talk Animator 1. But now in Crazy Talk Animator 2, we have animated props. And these have the sprites inside, and you also have the animations inside the action menu. And you can tell that these are new props because they have the INI icon on the upper left. This means animation. So I can drag and drop this in. Okay. If I open the sprite menu, you'll see that I have the sprite editor. And if I play something here, I can choose to loop. And there we go. So these are the four types of props that we have inside. Now, besides working with these props, what if you wish to create your own prop? Well, you can do this. And I'm going to show you. I'm going to Control N to open a new project, where I can go to File, New Project, Control N. And I will bring in my own prop. So I have a folder already. I have a live demos folder, which I like to use. And I have an image here, a PNG image of an ambulance. Okay. Now this PNG image is just an image, has nothing special. And as soon as I drag that in, I'm asked what would I want to do with this. So I want to create a prop. So I'll choose prop. And now I have my ambulance inside. Okay. And this, of course, has opacity inside. It's got a cutout effect already. Obviously, it's a PNG. So what do we do? Now, people might be tempted here to simply go in and grab the tires for my the tires that I saw in here and use these tires for my ambulance. But the problem with this is that you're going to encounter trouble because we're in the stage. So if you're bringing things in and then you're moving things about and you're not careful with the time scrub, you will set keyframes in by accident. So the best thing is to select your prop and go into the prop composer up here on the left hand side. Okay. So we have the prop we're inside the prop composer here. And if I click on sprite editor, you will see that I only have one sprite. Okay, the original sprite for my ambulance. So let's drop in additional sprites. So I'm going to go into police, side, and I will bring in my front tire. And let me scale this down, just like that. Okay. And then I wish to attach this tire to my ambulance. Okay. So I will select the tire, and I will go up here where it says attach. So you will attach that, and I want to attach it to the sprite of the original sprite of my ambulance. So again, I'll select it, attach. Oh, let me close this down here. Attach, and it should be attached, and we can see it. We have the ambulance, and then we have the front tire, and I could make that invisible. Okay, let's do the next one then. So I can grab the same one, front tire, because the front tire and the back tire in this pack look the same. Or I can simply just grab the rear tire and do the same thing we did before. Let me scale it. Just like that. Oh, right about there. Okay. So I will select my tire. I will attach to my ambulance. And if I go to the scene manager, I can see it there. We have the front tire and we have the rear tires. And I can open the sprite editor, so I see ambulance, and if I select a tire, I can see the sprites for that tire and also for the rear one. Okay, great. Now I'm ready. I simply need to select my ambulance, and I will update everything. I will just go back to the stage, just like this. And now I have my ambulance with my tires inside. And if I open my timeline, I should be able to see all of them right there. So I go to motion, and then I'll expand this, and now I can see my front tire and my rear tire track. Okay, so these are the tracks for the rear tire and the track for the right tire. So it says front tire sprite and rear tire sprite. And let me close this down here. If I open the sprite editor, you will see that I have the sprite for my ambulance, and I have the sprite for the front and the rear tires. So let's create something here. What do? I simply have to open the timeline, and we're going to do one tire at a time. Let me open the sprite editor also. And let's see, we're working with the front tire. So we have the track here. So right now the state that we have for the tire, it's a start state. It's this sprite here. It says start. Okay, so there's no movement. So if I double click on this front tire loop, or let's do something better. Let's say I'm going to play this, and right about here at frame 10, I'm going to click on the loop sprite. So now you can see that here it changed that state. So from here forward, it's playing that loop tire. So it should start from static, and then it should play the loop. So let's see what it looks like. And there we go. You see it playing. Okay? So let's go back to this frame, and now I wish to open the rear tire, and I'm going to do the same thing. Rear tire is selected. I choose that loop. Let me expand both of them. And now we can see both tires playing. Okay? So that's fairly easy. Now, I can leave it like that, but I would like to bring in an additional sprite, and I'm going to show you how to do this. What I will do is that before we continue, I want to collect the clip for these tires. So let's say that the motion starts from here, right? So I can collect that, and I can make my own motion clip. How do I do this? I go up here where it says collect clip. So I'm very sure that from this point forward, we have that rotating tire motion. So inside the collect clip track, I will drag, and I will drag for as long as I want. Okay, let's say that. And I know that inside we have the animation of the tire spinning. So inside the collect clip track, I will right click, and I will choose export. And here I can save this iMotion file. this prop motion file, I'm sorry. So I'm going to select tires. I made one before, so I'll just replace that. And now we should have that motion inside, that motion saved. So what I will do here is that I will undo everything to make sure that we're back to where we started from, where we had no animation in the tires. And I will select my ambulance, and this time I want to bring in an action menu. I want to go to the action menu editor. And I will add that tire motion that I created. And we can see it right there. Tires, frame, 51 frames. And what happens now? If I play this, nothing happens. And if I go to the action menu, I click on tires, you can see them playing. And I can open the timeline. And there is the motion, the animation we just created for my tires. And I can bring this back. And if I would like to loop this over and over again, I just make sure that the loop function is on, and I grab the edge and I stretch. And we'll see that motion. Okay, so that's pretty neat. Now, what else can we do? Well, I want to bring in an additional sprite. I will have my ambulance selected, and we're going to go back into the prop composer. And this time around, I'm going to add another sprite. I'm going to go in and add an additional sprite, which I have here. So let me show you exactly what I did. Previously, I went into Photoshop and I brought this image in. And what I did is that I added another icon, another siren icon image on top of that. And if I go next, you'll see that second image, this one. So these are two different images, okay? And I save them as different images. And what I do now is that I want to come into Crazy Talk Animator, and I want to add that second sprite with the siren. Okay, so now I have no siren and then siren. And obviously we still have the sprites for my tires. So let me go back here, make sure this is on no siren, and then I'm going to update this. And if I go to the sprite editor and I click on the ambulance, you see that I have the siren and no siren. So the same way that I created that animation for the tires, I can do the same for the siren. So let's try just that. I'm going to go out and I'm going to delete the motion for my siren here. Tires, make sure nothing is inside. Okay, I believe that I have an animation. I can see a keyframe here. So let me delete that. I'm going to remove all animation, and that should get rid of everything. Okay. So the ambulance is on no sprite. So what do? I open the sprite editor, and I go to ambulance, and here we have the static state. Okay. And I will count. I will count 10 frames, and then I will drop in my next one. So I'm here, and I will count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So that's 10 frames without the siren. And then the next frame, 11, I want the siren to be on. And you see that change there. So I count again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then I choose no siren. Now what am I doing? I am basically trying to make sure that my project is symmetrical, that I can loop this around. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 frames without a siren. Then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Let me move this one more. And then I have 10 frames with a siren. And we can create an animation based on this. So simply select right about there, and then we know what to do. Export. I'll export this as a siren. Yes, I did it already. And we're going to see what it looks like. So let me Control N to get rid of those sprite changes, and we're good. And then I'm going to go back to Action Menu, add this time the siren, and we have it inside. Okay, and if I right click, you can see my siren playing. Okay, just played once. So if I would like to play this, if I would like to loop it, you know what to do. Just grab it and loop it. And I can loop it as much as I like, because now I have my siren. Now at this point here, you might think, okay, great, I want the tire animation to come in. So if I go in and I click on tires, you'll see that we have a problem. The siren is no longer playing. We only have the tire motion. This is because we only have one motion track. But this is a fairly easy fix. The only thing we need to do is basically just open a track. We have the track for the tires, remember? So we want to use that track for the animation of the tires. So I'm going to go into, let's say, front tire and rear tire. So make sure everything is to the beginning. Let me close this here. And I'm going to open the sprite editor like we did before. Select the front tire, and I want it to loop. So now we set that that motion for the front tire, and I'll do the same for the rear tire. Now we have both the animations for front and rear tire, and we also have the siren playing at the same time. So let me play this. And there we go. Let me close this a bit. So that's actually very, very cool. And obviously, now that we have these motions inside, I can always go back into the collect clip function, okay? I can go back into the collect clip function. We have the siren and we have the tires. So I can go in and I can select a specific range. I can export, and obviously this has the tire motions and the siren motion, and I can create a motion called complete or siren and tires. So the next time I'm playing my project, I can add that complete motion inside, and that will play my tires and my siren at the same time. And then if you'd like, you can simply add in a special sound effect to this. I can go to sounds, bring this in, sound effect 1, and there you go. Now you have a special iProp with its own action menus inside. Okay, great. I hope you liked this tutorial. These are very neat tricks, some workarounds and some small issues, but we hope you enjoy it, and we hope to see some of your animations using these tools. Thank you again.